I'm just in time. Or Justin, if that's what you'd like to call me. This is Absurdly Epic, the analysis videos. Today I'm going to be analyzing my poem, Not Your Story. Now first I would like to ask the class, and don't worry, you are the class, do you recognize anything about this poem? Probably not, but to me it is very obvious. It is about, Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's sort of his story, but it's actually more interesting than that. It's sort of about, there's this scene where he gives this speech in the 7th season. He's talking to another character, Dawn, and it's in the episode Chosen. No, Chosen is the last episode. It's in the credit. Potential. That's the name of the episode. I don't know why I felt I needed to know that, but I guess Buffy the Vampire Slayer is like my thing, right? You know, knowing the name of TV shows is my thing. Like, I probably don't know the name of every episode, but I know that one. So anyway, that's what the idea is based off of. There are little different bits in each part that I want to go into, so you won't always be the hero of the story, the one who gets the glory. Story and glory, obviously, those rhyme. If you want to get a fun facty about this, Glory is the name of one of the demons in the 5th season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't even put that together when I read this, but apparently, there it is. Glad to see him doing something with this knowledge. So powers and hours, they obviously go together like a wap-bapa-loo-bapa-wap-bam. No, wait. Okay, we're getting into Grease territory, and that's never a safe place to go. So let's, I don't know. I don't want to go through every bit of this with you. I'm still figuring out my footing on this analysis thing. Because as I've said before, I don't really like poetry analysis. I don't really like any kind of art analysis where you're trying to figure out what was originally meant, because I don't think that's what art actually is. I think it could be helpful to know, like, you know, those times you just gotta know. I just gotta know what this is, or whatever. That's the kind of stuff I think. But I feel like poetry analysis, especially in classrooms and stuff, doesn't work. It doesn't work right because you're just doing it because you're being told to. Whereas the idea of a poetry class, I think, is more to, open your mind up to it, show you new techniques for it, show you ways to get better enjoyment out of your poetry. And I think by analyzing poems, you're not really doing that. Of course, introspectively, you can do that. Robert Frost, The Road, I think it's called. Something more specific, but two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. People know that one, and people like that one. It might be good to see what that one means to you. Anyway, with this, I wanted to do something that is what I'm trying to do with poetry is sort of mix certain elements of culture, pop culture, today's culture. Well, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's like, almost 20 years old. It's not really today's culture anymore, but it's important to me, and also I think it's important to a lot of other people. So I'm trying to capture it in a way that wasn't originally intended to be captured with this poem, is all I'm trying to say. So, Go Down a Ways that I talked about goes to the wires of the hay. The wires of the hay obviously being haywire doesn't mean anything. It's just a different way of saying something, so it rhymes. And I feel like poets do that a lot. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I'm a classically trained poet. I wouldn't debase myself to that. I'm making you sound snooty. I'm sorry if I'm, offending you in some way. I'm not trying to. I didn't even notice this, but wires of the hay also rhymes with what will you say, which is on the next line, which wasn't intentional. I will say. I keep that rhyme scheme going with if I may. And yeah, that was completely unintentional. And sometimes that makes for good stuff too. Sometimes makes for dull, kind of samey stuff. And I try to stay away from that, but I always get sucked back in. The only power you have to give is a friendship that is true. I was about to say a true friendship, but it's the same difference. I just changed the wording so it rhymed. Again, rhyme isn't about the rhyming so much. I mean, it is obviously because it's called rhyme, but it's actually more to do with the flow of the poem and how it sounds to your ears. And that's why I use it a lot. Actually, I was trained, like probably lots of others, that poetry doesn't need to rhyme. The problem with that, though, that I am finding is that it's hard to make something and say, well, this is poetry if it doesn't rhyme. It's just a big block of text they might read all importantly. So, it doesn't, I'll say it, poetry doesn't have to rhyme. I try to at least rhyme something in my work these days, but I don't have to. Also, to get out of that, meter rhyme thing, thing, I will, like I said last time, I will add a line, subtract a line, or sometimes use a near rhyme or a close rhyme. I believe I've also heard them called slant rhymes. They're rhymes that are close, but they don't actually rhyme. They use a lot of that in songs because it's really hard if you just stick with what actually rhymes. So I try not to just stick with that kind of thing. But yeah, a friendship that is true is, I think that's important to me. Friendship is actually important, and I think friendship and loyalty is a theme from Buffy the Vampire Slayer that, carries through. So I'm carrying it through here. And especially with Xander, because Xander didn't really have any powers. He was just, sidekick guy. And, I mean, he was really cool, but, yeah, they pointed out that he wasn't the most powerful of the bunch either. He was standing amongst giants, as they say. So I also say, like a wedding vow never received. That is a simile, I believe. Simile is when you use like or as to compare something to one another. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it did at the time. So you'll find poetry is a lot of that kind of thing where, it makes sense at the time. And maybe what's more important about some things is that they make sense to other people, or they make sense to what you're saying, but they don't really resonate with you. Obviously, I never have been married. Well, not obviously, I mean, how would you know? But I haven't, so I cannot really say that it doesn't resonate with me at all. I guess it does. That's what that someday maybe is about. This is not your story, at least not today. you know, everyone's story takes on a different day, different time. Stories happen all around us whenever, all that stuff. Nary an undead frat boy, that's another reference to a Xander-themed episode of Buffy in the 3rd season called The Zeppo. I'm not sure any of them were actually frat boys, but they had that sort of mentality to them. And then, because that was the one where Xander became, like, really interesting. Well, you learn that Xander had more stories to him. It's just they're not always told stories. Or maybe that was the only one. I honestly don't. And it's not a huge deal to this poem. A second eye, that's a reference to what happens to him in the 7th season. His words make people smile, so that is something I'm telling everybody, you know? It's not a bad thing to make people smile. If that's what you contribute, there are many worse things, and that's what the whole last line is about in this episode. So anyway, this has gone on a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm sorry for all the awkward pausing and stuff. I do that sometimes. Anyway, before I go, I just want to say that I'd like it if you would tell me what this poem means to you, or what certain things were brought to your attention, or, you know, whatever. Because that's interesting to me, and who knows, someday I might make something of it. Because I might. Alright, well, I will talk to you later. Take care, and good night. Goodbye. I guess I can't say good night. You can be listening to this whenever. So, cheerio, governor!